Good morning, Bronzo. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this feed. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Frankie Olivo. Our program focuses on the very important issues that are affecting our local community. We have shed light on injustices and we have allowed for our platform, this mic, to be that of the voice of the people. Now, if this is something you can see yourself supporting, well, we ask that you join the cause. Make sure that you like, comment, and follow all of our social media platforms. Currently, right now, this live program is being streamed on X, formerly known as Twitter, and on Facebook. We could be found under Frankie Olivo. Make sure you follow our personal page on Face. We could be found under Olivo Frankie. But more importantly, if you haven't already, create a Gmail account, go to YouTube, like, follow, and subscribe to our channel titled Frankie Olivo TV. It's free. As of late, our Facebook page is at risk of being taken down. The powers that be do not want you, the voter, the constituent, to know the truth. But remember, we will not be silenced. Now, if you're really about the cause and you want to stand up to corruption and you want to hold our elected leaders and those in leadership positions accountable, support the cause. Make sure that you are subscribed to all of our social media platforms. I will never ask you for money. I will never ask you for food, Brownsville. All I ask of my community is something very simple. Like, comment, and share this live feed. Currently, right now on YouTube, we are at 940 subscribers. Our goal is to reach 1,000. Once we hit 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, everything will be gravy. Remember, Good Morning Brownsville will come on Monday through Friday religiously. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel titled Frankie Olivo TV to tune in. We will not be silenced. And always remember, Brownsville, we are forever grateful to each and every one of you for the time and attention that you provide us. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. How we doing, chat? How we doing? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store. How's everybody doing? Does everybody feel the holiday spirit? Well, unless you're like me, who's struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. I've said this before. I have a ton of nieces and nephews. My brothers are very fertile. Nobody told them to, hey, quit it after 2, after 3. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that that my brothers have procreated and given their last name. It's a beautiful thing, and more than anything, for my mom, for my mother, to be given the joy of being a grandmother. Um, she she did her best with her children, and she does even more. She goes far and beyond, even more with her grandkids. It's a beautiful thing. I like to make fun of my mom because I say that she went soft. When it was me and my sister, man, she would beat the crap out of us with my ay, tan chiquitos, they're babies. Leave them alone. It's crazy how life works, right? But as they say, the grandkids are very special, the most prized possession that grandparents have. Um, so I hope we are on the eve. Ahora sí hay McDonald's money. Jose Mario, ni pa McDonald's tengo, compa. Nah, I'm just kidding. I hope you are excited to have some time off to be able to spend holidays with those that you love. It is a blessing, and just because we possibly aren't, uh, where's my Christmas background? I'm the Grinch. I'm the Grinch for this Christmas. Christmas is a time to reflect. Many times, it is a time where we exchange material things and we possibly measure our lives based on what we get, what we receive, or possibly what we give out. At the end of the day, the most beautiful thing that and the greatest blessing that we have is life, is our health. Essentially, health is wealth. So I hope you are ready for the holidays. I myself have been having a back and forth with my own self, Chingo, because if you were following, Jovita on Southwest is giving out toys. The line isn't long. Is that Brownsville Coffee Shop, Jovita, to the community? Make sure you stop by. Make sure you pick up a toy. Maybe not for your loved one, but maybe for somebody that you know that is in need and that could use of a gift. So I've been back and forth. I know with the holidays right around the corner, you don't want to listen to politics, right? I understand, and I've been debating back and forth whether I should, call it a year and see you guys on January the 5th after the Christmas New Year's festivities, but there's so much to talk about. I want you to come on to Good Morning Brownsville to tune in to find out what's going on in the city. I want Jovita's one stop. Oh, that's not Brownsville Coffee Shop. I do apologize. Give us the directions, give us the address, and give us the time. That way we can let our community know. So I've been back and forth. Are my people going to listen to me? Are they going to give me the time of day? They're focused on the festivities, on the holidays. At the end of the day, it is my job to come before you to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I understand that possibly everyone might not tune in to what is going on, but we feel indebted to the community, and we're very thankful for the reception and the attention and the support and the love and the patience more than anything that my community has given us. So with that being said, I know we did discuss in regards to not going live, but I guess we will. So just for, let me see. Today, today's going to be my last day because tomorrow is Christmas Eve and then Christmas and then Friday. So I'll come on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. Well, yeah, that's it. My only days off are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week because of Christmas. And then the 29th through the new year, we're going to hit it hard, Brownsville. I have to take advantage of this time, and because we don't know if tomorrow is promised. I don't know if I'm going to be able and have this energy for too long. So while my maker gives me the opportunity, I will come on before you. I did think for my mental health reasons, porque estoy bien loco, I did think that I was going to take a step back and enjoy myself, but I just can't. So there you have it. Today is my last day for this week. We'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to enjoy Christmas, but then we'll be back at it on the 29th, ringing in the new year, talking about what's most important to the citizens of Brownsville. So I hope you join me starting on the 29th as we ring in the new year. Don't we want a better Brownsville? Don't we want a better community? It is because of this program and others that keep you informed. And I don't take that lightly. So I hope you join us, Brownsville. While people are on the holiday vacation, we're going to be coming out before you talking about what's most important for our community. Thank you so much for that. Mancha says 5420 Southmost Road, going out right now until supplies last. 5420. Is that Brownsville Coffee Shop? No, Jovitas. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, Jovitas, 5420. It's kind of like, I know where it's at. Let me put it on for the community. Thank you so much for doing this, for letting me know. It is not Brownsville Coffee Shop, but I am familiar with this area. It's kind of like if you're headed to La Posada, no? It's in that area. Let me bring it up to my community. Thank you so much, Mancha, for this. If anybody wants to stop by, my people, please, enjoy your family and your holiday. Oh, thank you so much on this. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, the invitation is extended to the community. 5420 Southmost Road, Jovitas, one-stop shop. It's like a super where you can go and get your groceries or any needs. I think it's like going towards La Posada area, deep into Southmost. I'm on Minnesota, So I come through the back roads, but I know how to get there. So 5420, ladies and gentlemen, Southmost Road. The invitation is there. Jovita's one-stop shop. Make sure you pick up a gift. Maybe it's not for you, but you know of a child, of a family that could use these gifts. Make sure you stop by. Thank you so much to the community for letting us know. It is because of people like you, Mancha, you, Hernandez, you, Solitaire, that we as a community could be better informed. We believe wholeheartedly in the power of information. So thank you so much for that, Mancha. To my people, go to Jovitas, 5420 Southmost Road. There are toys available while supplies last. Make sure you get them before they run out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, if you're new here, welcome. I do want to talk a little bit about what we do here. Here at Good Morning Brownsville, for those that aren't aware, we are carrying the torch and trying to fulfill the legacy of someone that was very passionate about his community. He was very active and very vocal. He wholeheartedly believed in being people's champion. Whenever we talk about power, whenever we talk about politics, at the end of the day, it's all about who you know. Yesterday, I had the benefit of seeing what I call a family member. He said, Frankie, I need to see you. I need to talk to you about something very important. Please meet me. I met with that person and we talked and we discussed. And what I learned was he's very familiar with the programs and with the show and what he talks about. And he says, you got to keep on doing this podcast. You got to continue shaking those trees because those apples are going to fall. It is because of our program. And we say with all humility that we genuinely help the community. That is our role in life. I never dreamed, ladies and gentlemen, in my wildest dreams that I would come before you every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. It never crossed my mind. I had other plans. I had other goals in life. It wasn't until the passing of my loved one, of my predecessor, that I decided to take on his role. It is not easy doing what we do, and I don't say it to for pity. I don't say it to get a pat on the back. That's never been my thing. I don't want credit for what is happening within our area. We wholeheartedly want a better community. We want to be people's champion. And the role and the purpose of this, Mike, isn't to weaponize, isn't to demean people. Unfortunately, here at the city of Brownsville, we don't have investigative journalism. When's the last time you saw a major news agency cover the things that we cover? The uniqueness of this program, ladies and gentlemen, and of this mic is that we give you the good, the bad, the ugly. We take you behind the scenes in those closed doors with what those politicos are scheming, and we let you know. Unfortunately, many people have not been as receptive or supportive of this program. It's okay. I understand that we may not be well liked by the politicos, by the people in general. One thing that we hear is, you're negative. Why don't you change the tone, bro? All you do is bash people. My goal to my community, my goal is to be real. I want to be frank with you. I hope that you can appreciate our honesty. Do you want me to lie to you and to sing kumbaya and to say that everything's a-okay within our city? I think you could appreciate for us letting you know beforehand the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I understand my role before you. I don't think I'm better than no one. I don't think that I'm doing great things. In my work mind, I think that if I'm able to help the life of one person within my community, I hope I'll be able to go to my maker and say, look what I've done. I've helped the lives of people. Please let me in. Please consider me into your kingdom. That is what I believe, because I genuinely want a better quality of life for you and your household. We will never use this mic to weaponize, to attack the citizens of Brownsville. We will never do that. The role and purpose of this mic is to bring attention, to bring awareness. And if you heard Our opening monologue that we say each and every time we come on is that we hold our elected leaders and those in leadership positions accountable. That is the purpose of this mic, my people, to bring awareness, to talk about what's important, but most importantly, to make sure that the politicos know that they're on the hot seat, that we're keeping them on check. And not just those elected officials, every individual that wants to assume the role of for the people. It's a difficult job, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I don't need praise. I don't need people to say, oh, you're doing well. I don't need nobody to kiss my butt. People have misconstrued the purpose of our platform and say, oh, well, you're just using this for likes. You're just using this for clout. You're using this to get elected. I've made no secret about my goal and my desire to serve my community in that capacity. At the end of the day, I genuinely want to serve you. I believe that a public servant should give his people everything and say, what do you want to do with this, my community? It is no lie. It is nothing unheard of. And I hope, my people, that if I ever run or throw my name into the ring, into whatever government entity we choose to serve, you would consider me. Because time in and time out, we have been at the forefront of what's most important in your life. We cannot be bought. We will always remember the message that our former predecessor gave us and the great responsibility and the indebtedness that I feel for people that accepted him, that supported him. We want to be the people's champion. We want to fight injustices. We want our people to feel empowered. Whenever you talk about politics, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fine line because it's people with money. It's people with those political connections that always get first dibs in line, always get preferential treatment. You know what I'm talking about. It shouldn't be that way. We, the people, should reap the benefits of our politicians, of those that consider themselves for the people. That is the role that I have before you, and I take it very seriously. People laugh and mock us, but I think throughout the short time we've been on since March, we're going on 9 months. Through this 9 months, I think we've been doing a great job of keeping you informed, of talking about what's important. And I hope, and you should, Santana, you should hold people such as myself to a higher standard. Why? Because I'm throwing rocks. I'm throwing flechas. And best believe people say, oh, you think you live in a glass house, huh? We understand that for every rock that we throw, 10 are being thrown our way. I'm okay with that. I've learned to accept it. Call it destiny. Call it whatever you wish. We know what we're up against. It's an uphill battle. Going up and talking about political machines is very difficult. It's not easy. But we're willing to fight the fight for the people. We're willing to be people's champion. I don't need to tell you that we are for the people. It's like that rich person. You think rich people, like the real rich people, you think they have to remind people how rich they are? It's always us that are poor that we try to dress in brand name and talk this, talk that we... No, the rich people know who they are. I don't need to tell you that I'm for the people, but some people do. Today's program, ladies and gentlemen, is bittersweet. I hope that you hold elected leaders and those in leadership positions accountable. What I found, ladies and gentlemen, is that many people are frauds. Many people talk a great talk, but when it really comes down to it, they're frauds. They're all fluff. At one point, we were supportive of someone like Susan. Susan on her profile, I'm not sure if she still does, but at one time had Susan Ruvalcaba for the people. And many people say, oh my God, look, she's fighting for the people. What has she done really? Has she broken a story? Has she done investigative journalism? All she really does is pay for material, freedom of information request. We get that stuff for free. We don't have to spend the hundreds of dollars that she spends. We get it for free. And she takes credit for what? Tenasca? Tenasca was already a done deal. What, she thinks that if it wasn't because of her, none of this stuff would have been out there? Erasmo Castro told us way before all this happened. But why are we focusing on this person? Frankie, are you being a sexist? Are you only targeting women? For those people that aren't aware, go through our Facebook page. We don't care whether you're a man or a woman. If you are an elected official or claim to be for the people, we're going to talk about you. And we're going to let the community know what you're all about. For today's purposes, ladies and gentlemen, we titled this program, Were COVID Relief Funds Used to Purchase a Condo that is now being foreclosed on? Did Susan Ruvalcaba obtain COVID relief funds that were eventually used to purchase a luxurious condo at South Padre? Now, you may say, Frankie, you're being petty. Well, why is this wrong? Well, it's wrong for several reasons. The main one is because the COVID relief funds were meant for a specific purpose, for payroll, for rent, for essential operations, for the community, for a public benefit. Using those funds to buy a personal asset like a beach condo, in my opinion, is a misuse of these funds. In my opinion, that crosses from poor judgment into potential fraud or misappropriations, depending on the rules attached to that money. Now, Susan is a person that if you call her out, she starts barking and saying, I'm going to sue you, defamation, this and this, that and that. Well, we're going to show you, community, with facts about what we're talking about. Because again, whatever I say is irrelevant. Whatever we can prove is very, very important. Now, why does a foreclosure makes this thing bad? Well, foreclosure suggests that the funds were not only misused, but also financially mismanaged. It means that the money didn't even achieve a stable outcome for public or emergency funds. From an accountability standpoint, it raises red flags about competency, honesty, and stewardship. Whenever a community leader, quote unquote, preaches transparency, that is something that Susan always talks about, right? Transparency, transparency. They are setting an ethical standard. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, if they don't practice it themselves, that usually is seen as hypocritical and could severely affect, damage their credibility. Now, one thing that I have been at odds with Susan was because she's doing what she does for all the wrong reasons. Susan Ruvalcaba at one time was the former treasurer for the Republican Party. What have we seen during her tenure being in a leadership role within the Republican Party of Cameron County? Well, we saw a lot of questionable mishaps. For those that aren't aware, and I've been very critical of this, the Cameron County Republican Party endorsed, spent money, hundreds of dollars on known Democrats. Now, maybe you may not understand the severity of that, but whenever you talk to hardcore GOPs, hardcore Republicans, it's like religion. I think my religion's better. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. You're wrong. For the GOP to spend money on Democrats and then take these pictures, it's kind of like, really? Isn't your goal within the Republican Party to look for candidates within the party to run against these people? Is there not one amongst us that we have to spend money on a Democrat? That was one of my big critics for Deborah Jobless Bell, the now soon to be former chairwoman. She decided not to put her hat in the ring. Why? Maybe because someone such as Mayra Flores is going to campaign hard against her. Maybe. I don't know. Susan Ruvalcaba has always preached about transparency, and rightfully so. We expect transparency because it's important for a community leader to be transparent because it helps community trust, to understand and to be able to work with leadership. When leaders are open about decisions, plans, and mistakes, people are more likely to trust them. Ultimately, trust makes a community stronger and more united. Transparency encourages fairness. It shows that the decisions that are made are fair, not in secret, not for personal benefit. It improves communication. There is a clear and honest information, and it reduces any confusion and rumors. It increases accountability. When leaders are transparent, they are more likely to take responsibility for their own actions. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I've had a few transgressions that I'm not proud of, but I think I've been open and honest about them. At the end of the day, I don't want you to be blindsided and say, oh my God, Frankie sent a dick pic. Oh my God, he is the worst. I've told people I made a mistake. I was wrong. I owned up to it. You want to crucify me? Here are the nails. I'll be waiting for you. Crucify me. By being transparent, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking responsibility for our actions. This encourages ethical behavior and better decision making. It promotes participation. People who are willing to get involved when they understand the issues and they feel respected. At the end of the day, transparency, something that Susan always preaches, it empowers the community members to share ideas and solutions. We can openly share challenges that allows the community to work together to find solutions instead of hiding them. Who is Susan Ruvalcaba? She claims to be for the people. Is that just a farce because she was trying to get into politics to help save her business? Is she a good businesswoman? It was alleged that she was claiming that she was on the brink of foreclosure. Now, I'm not here to bash business owners. I'm a business owner myself. I know the struggles. I know what it's like not knowing if I'm going to pay the bills. I actually like that feeling. I'm all commission. If I don't work, I don't eat. And it's a grind. For those business owners, you know what I'm saying. But Susan calls people out, as I do. Susan is always walking this tightrope. And what does she do? She attacks people of being corrupt, She's mowing them over and over and over again. People have confided in me that know her and say, she became what she most hated. The person said that it's sad because her followers believe her no matter what. And we're not talking about just criticizing them. about being corrupt, it's mowing them into oblivion. She has portrayed some of them as evil and dark. That's scary. One thing that I was very critical of Susan Ruvalcaba for the people was because she was supporting Pedrito Cárdenas, a known Democrat. If you want to go to our YouTube page titled Frankie Olivo TV, go to the May 2025 episodes. We ran 10 programs on how corrupt Pedrito Cárdenas was. Susan Ruvalcaba herself questioned reasons why Pedrito Cárdenas' family was receiving BCIC or taxpayer money. How can you question the leadership of a political 1 year, call them corrupt, bring into question irregularities, and the very next year endorse him? Now, for those that aren't aware, Pedrito Cárdenas was running for his seat, the District 4 position, against a doctor, Daisy Zamora. Susan Ruvalcaba, and Daisy Zamora got a doctoral degree. She's a scientist. She's a professor. She teaches at UNC, the University of Chapel Hill. Talking about an educated woman. Susan was calling her a snake. I was like, Susan, don't you mean Pedrito's the snake? How could Daisy Zamora be a snake? She's got a doctorate degree. She's a scientist. I understand women are very critical of women, but what the hell? What are you doing? You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. But that is who the Republican Party chose to endorse and spend hundreds of dollars on. We learned that Susan had previously purchased a property at South Padre Island under an LLC titled LGSW Enterprises. This property in question was purchased on June 17th, 2022 for the sum of $450,000 at South Padre Island, the condominium unit N203, North Tower Building, Laguna Bay Condominiums. When we find the owner, the registered owner of this business, or the business in general, it comes back to 594 Jose Marti Drive. 594 Jose Marti Drive. This address, ladies and gentlemen, that I have before you, that purchased this property, according to the Cameron Appraisal District, 200 West Constellation Drive, South Padre Island, Unit N203, North Tower, Laguna Bay Condos, was purchased by SGSW Enterprises, LLC, that has an address of 594 Jose Marti. Who could that belong to, ladies and gentlemen? Well, if we look, we find that 594 Jose Marti is where Mesquite Home Health is. What did you know? Look, a Mayra Flores sign. Who does this property belong to? Mayra Flores. It belongs to Mesquite. Look at that. Mesquite Home Health. Huh. It's funny. So, what happened? Well, let's talk about what happened. You see, when people talk about COVID, thank you, Chester. I'm trying my best. Who can forget COVID? The experience for business owners during COVID-19 pandemic was very difficult, especially for small and local business owners. We saw economic shutdowns, immediate losses. Remember when the government ordered lockdowns and social distancing? In the United States, the number of active small business owners dropped sharply. Who could forget those times? Revenues dropped. Closures happened. About 9 in 10 small businesses reported that COVID-19 severely impacted their business. There were layoffs. There were furloughs. This COVID pandemic, it affected the workforce. It had great impact. There were large shares of workforces that were laid off. Hours, wages were reduced. People were fired. People were not able to make ends meet. Supply chains were disrupted. Financial assistance programs were given to people by the government, like loans, grants, stimulus packages that helped some of the businesses survive. Many owners still needed direct financial support to stay open, to cover rent, utilities, payroll. Remember what I said? It was alleged that Susan told someone that she was on the brink of bankruptcy. Now, did Susan Ruvalcaba or Mesquite Home Health receive COVID funds? Yes. What I could prove is somewhere from $150,000 to $350,000. Insiders allege that it was more in the million, closer to the $1 million mark. I can't definitively prove that. What I can prove is a substantial amount of COVID funds were received by Mesquite Home Health. Look at this. SGSW, again, SGSW received $163,000 in April of 2020. A good sum of money. The property was purchased in June of 2022. Frankie, that's 2 years. She probably bounced back. She probably made enough money. The COVID funds weren't there. And for those people that want to see the condo in question, we can take a look. This is the condo. And people shared this with me. And they said, did you know Susan's selling a condo? I said, I had no idea. Look at the address. 200 West Constellation, North End 20. It's selling for $700,000, roughly, give or take, más o menos. Was Susan trying to use this property to flip it? Because who can forget, during COVID, ladies and gentlemen, cash was king. If you had cash, man, you were able to buy pennies on the dollar. Susan bought this property shortly after. And according to insiders, according to people in the know, they say that Susan Ruvalcaba received funds around that time, 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024. Now, is it wrong for LLCs to purchase condos through businesses? Was the property purchased using the business LLC? Did they use COVID relief funds to purchase said property? Curious minds would like to know. We're asking the question. We're not accusing anyone of anything, but we simply are asking the question. Now, is it wrong for a restaurant, a home health agency that received a small business loan in Texas to purchase a condo a few years later using the same LLC? No, it's not wrong or illegal if they received the loan. However, there are important caveats that could make it problematic if not handled properly, because the small business loans rules and obligations are very specific. They come with a promissory note and loan agreement that includes negative covenants. They have restrictions and they protect the lender and the guarantor. It prohibits on major capital expenditures or investments exceeding anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000, depending on the size of the loan, without consent. A condo purchase could qualify as a significant investment. If the loan is fully repaid, well, these restrictions they don't matter. But we ask the question, was this loan forgiven? Was it repaid? Now, these LLC structures, they can own real estate, including condos, without issue. However, if the condo is for personal use, the owner's residence, rather than business, are they staffing member? Are they do they have staff housing or invest rentals? That raises red flags, because whenever you're commingling funds, you're using business cash or credit for a personal asset that could pierce the corporate veil. It possibly could expose owners to personal liabilities and lawsuits. What about tax implications? The IRS might reclassify this as a personal distribution, triggering taxes, penalties, and audits. Proper documentation is essential. Again, we're not accusing this person of any wrongdoing. We're simply asking a question. And who can forget, ladies and gentlemen? Who can forget? Here in the Rio Grande Valley, the federal government has come hard down on business owners that used pandemic funds for self-enrichment. We have before you Sandra Pope, the aunt of BISD board member Daniela Lopez Valdez. These people want to portray themselves as being rich, as being almighty. Look at me, you peasant. I live in Rancho Viejo. I do this. I do that. Well, guess what? According to the Department of Justice press release out of the Southern District of Texas, Sandra Pope Solis of Rancho Viejo, she was arrested for using the money that was designed to pay for employees, to keep the lights on, to make sure that the business does not declare bankruptcy. What did these people use it for? To pay off their bills. They use this money to buy crypto. They use this money for partying, for lavish gifts. Does the government frown upon these people who misappropriated the funds? If you don't believe me, let me post the story. You're probably thinking, Frankie, you lie. No, we always bring receipts. We're simply asking the question, what happened? Here is the news article. If you want to take a better look, dive deep into this case. So why is this relevant? Why is this important? It's important because someone is claiming to be transparent. She's saying that she is for the people. Did she get caught in something? That condo that she purchased using the same LLC that she received COVID funds, insiders, critics are asking the question, why was this condo purchased? Now, again, that's an easy question, right? Frankie, what do you mean? Why this condo was purchased? Was this a necessity for the business? Again, we're not accusing, we're just asking the question, because what happens now is people are starting to question regarding these COVID funds. Were COVID relief funds used to purchase a condo that is now being foreclosed on, according to Silvia Garza Perez's Cameron County Clerk's office, where a notice of foreclosure sale that will be happening on January the 6th was filed on December 16th, where the grantor SGSW Enterprises LLC purchased a property for $450,000, a condominium unit N203 North Tower Laguna Condos. Did Susan Ruvalcaba, we're asking the question, did she obtain COVID relief funds that were eventually used to purchase a luxurious condo at South Padre? Frankie, why is it wrong? Well, COVID relief funds were meant for a specific purpose: payroll, rent, essential operations, public benefit. Using those funds to buy a personal asset like a beach condo is a misuse of funds, in my opinion. In my opinion, this crosses from poor judgment to potentially, I don't know, fraud, misappropriations, depending on the rules attached to that money. And why? Why does this foreclosure make it worse? Because it suggests that the funds were not only misused, but also financially mismanaged. It means that the money didn't even achieve a stable outcome. Public or emergency funds were effectively wasted. From an accountability standpoint, it raises red flags about competence, honesty, and stewardship. Remember, this is Susan Ruvalcaba, who preaches about transparency, transparency, transparency. She has been setting an ethical standard for the politicos, and more importantly, for people who are vocal, such as her and such as I. Transparency, transparency. Ladies and gentlemen, if these people do not practice transparency, if they don't live what they preach, that to me is usually a sign of hypocrisy. And remember, this is a woman that is asking for your vote to run for city, to run for BISD in the very near future. Why do people run for public office? Is it to change your quality of life, or has Susan seen how other politicos benefit from the political seat that they hold? According to insiders, at one time, Susan Ruvalcaba was on the brink of bankruptcy. I have shown you that she has received from $150,000 to $350,000 in COVID relief funds. I asked the question without accusing her of anything. The people want to know, Susan, were COVID funds used to purchase a condo that is now being foreclosed on? You or your business are not able to pay the bank note, and the bank is saying, we want it back. You see, Susan thinks she's clever. She probably thought, I'm gonna buy it for 450. I'm gonna flip it for 7. There's chingos of profit. Little did she know, if she studied the market at the island or had a competent realtor within her circle, they will tell her that's far-fetched. In today's market, no one's going to buy that. Not for 700, not for 670, not even for 600. Ladies and gentlemen, what I do before you, I take very seriously. I walk that line. People said, "Oh, I've seen you hit rock bottom when you send that dick pic." I was like, to me personally, that's not my rock bottom. Yeah, I was embarrassed for my mother more than anything. But to me, rock bottom is when I was 21 years old, a girl knocked on my door, a woman knocked on my door and said, "Congratulations, you a baby daddy now." I was like, "What? Say what?" I was like, "I know, I nutted it. Golly." To me, that was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened in my life. That I had to look my mother and my brothers in the face and say, he's not ours. After 2 years of being with this child, spending the holidays, spending birthdays together, to look him in the face and say, he's not ours. To me, that is my lowest point, the most embarrassing thing to ever happen to me. I still get goosebumps thinking about it. I walk that line now. I don't go out. I'm not drinking. I'm not partying. I'm not, because I do not want to subject myself to that. I have a great responsibility of coming on before you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an orgasm every morning I come before you. It is euphoric. Not many people will understand. I love being in front of the tube. I love talking about what's important within our community. I think that you, as a constituent, as a voter, would appreciate somebody that tells you like it is. Again, our job isn't to convince you, my people. My job is to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. We stay away from the gray area. It's either a black or it's a white. We believe wholeheartedly in the power of information. We believe wholeheartedly in transparency. I am an open book. I try to keep my private life away from the limelight because I want to protect them as much as possible. I understand this role that I took upon is dangerous. I've been threatened with my life at least 3 times that I know. People are threatening me with lawsuits. They haven't done nothing. They think that I'm gonna hide in a corner and they want to hurt me. They want to sue me. They don't know who I am. Do you not know who I am? By coming on before you, ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely want to be your champion. I don't just talk. I believe wholeheartedly in action. I give my face to my community. We talk about the important issues. We genuinely want to give you a better life, you and your family and your household. And we hope that if we ever run for public office, you will take that into consideration, because we will always be upfront. We will always keep you, the constituents, you, the people, at the forefront of whatever issues we're dealing with. It is my goal to serve you as a community, to say, my people, here are the goods. I want to be the Robin Hood to give to my people and say, eat it all, enjoy it all. Transparency is a very important word. For those people that claim they are for the people, we expect them to not just talk the talk, but to walk the walk. It's not easy. It's difficult. And I respect each person who runs in politics. I respect each person who wants to come before the community and talk and be their champion, because it's not easy. I am criticized. I am ridiculed. That doesn't bother me. I see it as a badge of honor, because someone told me You know you're doing something good whenever they take notice, whenever they want to discredit you, whenever they want to talk bad about you, whenever you have you have the attention of the congressman, the sitting congressman in DC. You got his attention, Frankie. We know we're doing something right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel titled Frankie Olivo TV. Best believe we'll come on Monday through Friday religiously. Again, we're going to take a break tomorrow, Christmas Eve, Christmas and Friday. We'll come back strong on the 29th, ready to go, ready to ring in the new year, ladies and gentlemen. We want the better Brownsville. We want the better South Texas, and it's going to take each and every one of you to make it happen. I have guts. I have balls. I hope you do too. Well, las mujeres, ovaries. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Frank Olivo, and this is Gene. Yes, I have said it wholeheartedly. Whoever comes out of this GOP primary will get my full support. Right now, I want each and every click to support their candidate wholeheartedly, and may the best woman, man win. Whoever comes out of the GOP, they will have my support. It is only fair to do so. Right now, we could have our preference, Gene. We can vote for who we want. We can support who we want. But once the people decide, in general, we have to respect it. That is our jury, so to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and your attention. I hope to see you here on Monday, a little bit after 9. My name is Frank Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. Peace! Ugh.